Hi, and welcome to our live video today. We are going to talk about how to avoid imposter syndrome as a TPT seller. And that is something, whether you're a new seller or a seasoned seller, I think we all experience at some time. But before we do that, I want to show you my new freebie that I have for Sellers Up. It's a 10-day blueprint for creating a brilliant TPT product. So let me show you that real quick. So let's see. I wanted to zoom in so you can see it better. What you'll get with the blueprint is that you get a 10-day rundown of everything you need to do to get a product up and running on TPT, from getting your idea all the way to creating it, to product photography, to getting it, the PowerPoint tricks that I have for creating an aesthetically pleasing product, how your cover design should look, editing, how to edit, product photography and video tips. It is a great freebie and you need to make sure to grab that. I have that linked in the Facebook group. Just go ahead and grab that when you have a minute. And now we are going to get into our presentation. Overcoming imposter syndrome. So today we're going to talk about what is imposter syndrome, finding facts and data, writing lists, and practicing confidence. Before we get started, I'm going to do one more quick introduction. I've been doing this the last few times just because I don't know how many of you are new, but my name is Teresa Quant. I've been a seller for almost 9 years, and I have far surpassed all the TPT milestones. I consistently make 6 figures every year with my store. I am more than qualified to be telling you and teaching you these tips. And I can't promise you that these tips are going to make you an instant sensation, but I can promise you they will change your store from a basic store to a brilliant one. And every week I plan on going live in this Facebook group at 8:30 Mountain Time. So make sure you're there. And if you can't make it live, you can always watch it the next day on the replay. We also have a fun Instagram page going where I give weekly tips. I have fun reels. I have ideas for you to do. I encourage you as a TPT author. Make sure to follow us at Teacher Author Brilliance on Instagram. Okay, what is imposter syndrome, you guys? I was dying when I found this picture of the cat and the dog. Anyway, just thought it was really funny. Imposter syndrome is when you feel like you're a fraud in your field. And I have talked to so many TPT sellers, both new and seasoned, and everyone at some time in their life or in their career path as a TPT author have felt this way. And really, it's not really being a fraud. It's really you lack confidence in yourself as a seller and as an entrepreneur running a business. These are unhealthy feelings and something you should not be thinking about, but it is hard to get those feelings out of your brain. The first thing I like to do when I get imposter syndrome is find the facts and data. It's always important to remind yourself why you are where you are, because you are here because teachers need you. They need us more than ever. So here are the facts I like to remind myself of why I deserve to be a TPT author, why I deserve to be doing what I'm doing. I went to college at the University of Utah for 4 years. I graduated with a bachelor's in science and elementary education. I taught 6th grade in an elementary school for 5 years. I earned my technology endorsement while teaching. I have been doing TPT and running my own business for almost 9 years. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So I can't let those other thoughts creep in saying, oh, I'm not good enough, or I haven't been, I had never taught as long as this seller, or now I just stay at home, or I only teach part-time. Whatever the case is, you can't let those thoughts creep into you, because you are a professional. You are professionally educated, you have a degree, and you are capable of sharing the knowledge you have, and teachers want you to share that knowledge. Now, another important aspect to remember to get that imposter syndrome out of your brain is that no one is 100% perfect all of the time. And I remember when I first started back on TPT, and I can think of everything that I did wrong. But the one thing I did right is I learned from my mistakes and I kept going. And I'm still doing that. There are still things I'm learning. There are still things I'm trying to learn and do. In fact, a new recent one is Reels on Instagram. I was so scared of Reels for the longest time. And this last month, I have really loved them. And it's something I just had to start and try and do. Now, are there other sellers and other influencers? I'm not an influencer, but you know what I mean. Other sellers and other Instagram influencers who get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views on their reels every day? Yes, there are. And that's okay because that's just something I'm working on, and I don't have to be perfect at everything to still be good at what I'm doing. We all have our strengths, and I need you to focus on yours. So here are some examples of when I have felt imposter syndrome and when I need to get those feelings out of my brain. Not having enough followers on social media. I remember when I started my Facebook page, I had like 100 followers, and I remember looking at another seller and they had 100,000 followers, and I was so jealous. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to be good enough for this. But guess what? Social media followers does not equate to how much money I make every year. What that equates to is how successful my products are and how well I find my niche and use SEO topics and do all of those things to sell my product. Yes, followers help, but they're not the only thing that is successful. I have seen sellers with 20, 30,000 social media followers, and they maybe only have 100 followers on TPT and haven't sold a whole lot. So remember, followers are not that big of a deal on social media. What comes down to is finding your niche. Not doing all the things gives me imposter syndrome. When I look at other people and I think they can do it all, guess what? They can't do it all. They're just focusing on what they can do well. And then being a full-time TPTer sometimes gives me imposter syndrome because I feel like I'm not in the classroom. So what do I have to share with people? The thing is I have been in the classroom before though, and I do go into classrooms regularly with my own children. So while I might not be an educator right now, I could be later on, and I have been. So I have that knowledge, and I do deserve to be here, and so do you. Another thing I like to do to get imposter syndrome out of my brain is create a list. I want you to remind yourself of all the facts and data about why you should be running a TPT business. It is now time to create a broader list. Okay, I want you to make a list of all your talents and things you do well. Examples might be you're good at social media. You're great at designing PowerPoint and Canva. You have years and years of teaching experience. Maybe you have a master's degree. Maybe you have lots of endorsements. Your lessons are original and stand out in your niche. People listen to you. These are all great things to remind you about why you need to be here. And you can get better at it every day and have your strengths grow and grow. Remember that. Create that list and put it in a place where you can see it. Now, the last thing, because imposter syndrome really it just means you're lacking confidence, is we need to practice having confidence. Now, one thing that makes me feel confident is I get ready to work every single day. In fact, the other day I was in the car with some friends and they were laughing and they said, Teresa, do you really get ready every single day? And I looked at them and I said, yes, I do. And it's okay if you don't and you wear sweats all day or you wear your workout clothes all day, that's you and you feel confident that way. I feel confident being in clean clothes, showering, getting my makeup on, being ready to work. That's one thing that helps me stay focused. I also like to have positive mantras. So these ones are kind of cheesy, but here are ones you can say to yourself every day. I am successful, I am strong, I am unstoppable, I don't give up. All right, there are plenty of times I have almost given up, and I am so grateful I didn't. Eating healthy, doing hobbies that are fun for you. Now, this is an important one. To gain confidence, remember to do things you love and are good at so you can still feel happy about yourself. Go for walks and exercise and cut out that negativity and be in the moment. Practice being confident and sharing your ideas and being a voice in your niche. I love this quote by Michelle Obama. She says, your success will be determined by your own confidence and fortitude. So you need to be confident in what you're doing. You can't give up, and you got to keep pushing through it. Every week, I leave you with a challenge after the Facebook Live, and today's challenge is to create a list of your strengths as a business owner to battle imposter syndrome. So I want you to create your list of your strengths and your data of why you're qualified and put it somewhere in your desk where by your desk so you can see it every day and remind yourself you need to be here and people need your ideas. I am so glad you joined me tonight, and I hope to see you next week. Don't forget to download that freebie so that you can start getting your 10-day blueprint ready for a brilliant TPT product. And I can't wait to see you next week, and good luck creating.